Bank shares surge. Let's have a look. Hello everyone, Florian.Heise here and welcome to another episode of HeiseSays. Grab your stein of coffee and let's have a look at this article from news.com.au which is discussing surging bank shares. Now, we all know of, well, let's just say that there's slight changes to lending restrictions or that are proposed to make it essentially a lot easier for banks to lend to other parties or really make it less onerous. Frankly, I hope it'll make... Well, I understand the advantage of it, of putting more responsibility onto the people going to borrow the money. But that seems to be in sharp contrast to every other aspect of our civilization where, where no responsibility is put on people. If you even mention or put the question forward, or why don't you have a budget? Why don't you have money set aside? People look at you like you're nuts. Why would I need a budget? I can just afterpay my credit card. Welcome to Australia. But hopefully, I mean, our savings, we're going nuts with savings now. Australians are going nuts with savings, highest than it's ever been. Maybe this will be the wake-up call people need and go, never again, I'm never going to be in this situation again. Maybe this is the first time some people are actually having to deal with Centrelink and deal with the government bureaucracy and saying, yeah, not in a million years, that's it, I don't care. What I'm going to do, I don't want to have anything to do with them. So there could be a silver lining to all of this. But nevertheless, bank shares have... well, finish the week higher. Let's jump over here and have a look. We can see Westpac is at $17.58. That gives them a dividend yield of 9.9%. 52-week high was at $30. 52-week low was at 13, and the previous close was at 16.37. Let's go out to 5 days, and well, there you go. Look at that. Look at that jump. What about good old NAB? They're at 18.37 right now, a yield of 6.15%. 52-week high at $30. 52-week low at 13.20 at 5 days. Oh, there we go. Look at that. Nice little jump. ANZ, 17.93. 52-week high of $28.79. 52-week low of 14.10 and a dividend yield of 5.86. Same thing. Look at that jump. CompSec. I wonder if anyone was playing the markets, you know. Could you do that? I guess it'd be considered insider trading if you knew a release was about to come from the from the treasurer. We go here 5 days. Combank, 66.13, dividend yield of 4.51%, and the 52-week high was 91.5. 52-week low was at $53.44, and you have that jump there as well. We'll jump over to trading economics, everyone. Let's have a look at the ASX 200. Well, first the Aussie dollar. We're sitting at 70 cents. The ASX 200 is at 5,965, and if we drill into that, we can see how we finished the week climbing back up, almost heading towards 6,000. And while we're here, let's look at gold and silver. Gold is at 18.61, and silver is at $22.88. I just did a video last night on HeiseSaysUS. If you haven't checked out my channel there, find the links down below. Looking at JP Morgan find almost $1 billion, or came to a settlement of almost $1 billion for, well, market manipulation in precious metals and others. Fantastic, isn't it? Fantastic. And of course, the banks are shooting up on this news. And like I said in a previous video, I think the next thing we'll see is probably, I don't know, Mortgage Keeper. $500 a week payments to keep people in their mortgage. They're going to do whatever they can at housing. There's no political will to allow austerity, to allow the market to correct. It's just not. I can't see it happening here in Australia. And what does that happen if there's no political will? It just keeps getting worse, doesn't it? It just keeps getting worse until you get to the point where you get inflation, and then you get more inflation, and you get more and more inflation. But your houses haven't gone down. Don't worry, guys. Sure, it costs you $100 for a loaf of bread, but don't worry about that. So, the Australian share market was driven higher by big gains among bank stocks after the federal government announced it would loosen responsible lending laws as part of its economic recovery plan. I mean, that just sounds terrible, doesn't it? That just sounds terrible. The benchmark S&P ASX 200 closed in on the key 6,000 point mark, finishing 1.5% higher at 5,964, while the All Ordinaries Index rose 1.39% to 6,140.5. A positive overnight lead from the US as investors became more optimistic about the possibility of a COVID-19 stimulus bill helped the local market. That's what it's all about, guys. It's just about stimulus now. The market's been trained. We'll have to see when that budget comes out. What do you think? What do you think we'll see in the budget? Let me know in the comments if there's any. What crazy scheme can you imagine? But the banking sector was the main driver of the gains after Treasurer Josh Frydenberg said the lending law changes would reduce the cost and time it took consumers and businesses to access credit so they could continue to spend, invest, and create jobs. Well, then why did we step away? Why do we put these other burdens on this? The problem is, you got to make up your mind. Either people are responsible adults and have to deal with this shit themselves, or the government has to come in and take care of you. Which way do you want to have it? They're just changing the rules all the time, every time, One time we're adults, one time we're children. Paying taxes, we can't put that burden on the individual worker. No, make their boss do that. Let the boss parent them. Because they know it'll change people's entire perspective, I'd argue, if you actually had to send that check off yourself. Most people never have had to. Among the big four, Westpac was the strongest, surging 7.3% to $17.58, after on Thursday copping a $1.3 billion penalty from Austrac for breaching anti-money laundering and counter-terrorism financing laws. Think Markets Australia analyst Carl Capolingua said the certainty of having the settlement on the table had tweaked someone's model. The National Australia Bank jumped 6.86% to 1837. ANZ added 6.28 to 1793. CommBank put on 3% to 6613. Bendigo and Adelaide Bank lifted 4.76 to 638. Bank of Queensland gained 2.81% to $6.21. Suncorp was up 1.78% to $8.59. Solomon's Law's Premier Investments posted a 29% surge in full-year net profit to $137.8 million, with its Peter Alexandria sleepwear chain a stand-up performer, particularly around Mother's Day. But the company, which owns brands including Just Jeans, Portman's, and JJ's, warned it would close up to 350 stores across Australia and New Zealand if landlords didn't get enough COVID-19 rent relief. It has already decided to close 4 Smiggle stores in Hong Kong and 42% of its UK Smiggle stores. I'm definitely not the Smiggle demo, I don't think. Its shares slipped 0.68% to $19. BHP firm 1.87% to $37.60, and fellow mining heavyweight Rio Tinto appreciated 0.83% to $98. Bunnings and Officeworks owners Wesfarmers inched 0.31% higher to $45.75. Qantas was 0.26% higher to $3.88, and Telstra advanced 0.7% to $2.86. The Australian dollar was buying 70.64 US cents, 55.36 British pence, and 60.51 euro cents in afternoon trade. So there we have it, everyone. The significant, rise in bank shares, probably fueled by the announcement from our treasurer. What do you all think? Do you think this will be a good thing for the economy? Are you at all surprised? Or is it just more of the same here in Australia? Property, housing, and banks, and why not a few miners here and there? As always, thanks for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. If you're a fan and want to support the content I create, there are a few ways you can. You can join the channel on YouTube or Patreon. You can support us using our affiliate links at Amazon, eBay, Independent Reserve, or Kucoin. You can buy merch from HeiseSays, use Gold Pass from the Perth Mint, or support us via PayPal. Take care, guys. Have a great day. I'll see you next episode.